It is officially springtime, meaning it's time for our next quarterly anticipated releases. These are going to be mostly sci-fi and fantasy, and they're stacked in. I am super excited about it. I'm excited that this has come out, but I have no idea when I'm going to read it. And honorable mentions that I think just some of you would like to. We'll be going in date order though, not level of excitement order. I'm Morgan. If this is your first time here, I hope you find something awesome to pick up. Or look forward to. They're not out yet. Look forward to. And every Monday we do the new releases videos so you can see what's coming up that actual week to go get. Now, let's go ahead and start with our April releases. The first one on the list is a given because it just has to be, even though I can't read it yet because I'm behind in the series. Coming out on April 2nd is Disquiet Gods, Book 6 in the Sun Eater series by Christopher Rocchio. I will not tell you anything about this book because it would spoil myself to read anything about this book, so I'm not. I have the video review for the first, second, and now third books up if you are interested. This series, though, is following Lord Hadrian Marlowe as he is recounting his tale from when he was a boy on his home planet to becoming what is known as the Sun Eater across the Solan Empire. They are humans. This is just a future perspective. It is a sci-fi epic. And it is epic. It takes place thousands and thousands of years in the future where humanity has left Earth and we are at war with another intelligent alien species and just politics. And oh my gosh, it's amazing. Like I said, you can check out one of the review videos. We will move on though. Coming out on April 9th is The Hemlock Queen by Hannah Whitten. This is book 2 in the Nightshade Kingdom. It looks like a trilogy. In this one, we are following Lore, who she can control death magic, which is kind of forbidden and banned and, generally thought evil. So she has been hiding this ability her whole life, except she does kind of use it just a smidgen to be able to survive. She is caught, though, by these warrior monks. The main one that will be involved in the story is Gabriel. She is taken to the Sainted King's court and pretty much told either you'll be killed or you're going to do this for me. And she has to kind of babysit, kind of spy on the Crown Prince Bastian and their interactions. People talk about a love triangle. Did I just completely misread that when I was reading the book? Because he flirted with her, but I did not see that. I read the first one. I did do a review for it, but as I just said, I didn't see the love triangle that everybody was talking about. But either way, I'm looking forward to the second one. Coming out the same day, one that I never thought that I would want to anticipate. It's a sci-fi horror, but I've heard really good things about the first one and another book that was supposed to be sci-fi horror-ish, and now I really want to try that one too. And it said that they're not really horror, it's more suspense, and I can do suspense. Not the point. The book is Ghost Station by S.A. Barnes. Psychologist Dr. Ophelia Bray has dedicated her life to the study and prevention of ERS, the most famous case of which resulted in the brutal murders of 29 people. It's personal to her, and when she's assigned to a small exploration crew who recently suffered the tragic death of a colleague, she wants to help. But as they begin to establish residency on an abandoned planet, it becomes clear the crew is hiding something. And Ophelia's crewmates are far more interested in investigating the eerie ancient planet and unraveling the mystery behind the previous colonizers' hasty departure than opening up to her. So much. It sounds so good on so many levels. The ninth, probably most anticipated release, though, is going to be The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. This one, it says, in a shabby house on a shabby street in the new capital of Madrid, Luisa Cartado uses scraps of magic to get through her days of endless toil as a scullion. But when her scheming mistress discovers the lump of a servant cowering in the kitchen is actually hiding a talent for little miracles, she demands Luisa use those gifts to improve the family's social position. What begins as a simple amusement for the nobility takes a perilous turn when Luisa garners the notice of Antonio Perez, the disgraced secretary of Spain's king. Still reeling from the defeat of his armada, the king is desperate for any advantage in the war against England's heretic queen, and Perez will stop at nothing to regain the king's favor. Moving on to April 16th, we have To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods by Molly Chang. Heroes die, cowards live. Daughter of a conquered world, Rying hates the invaders who descended from the heavens long before she was born and defeated the magic of her people with technologies unlike anything her world had ever seen. Blessed by death, born with the ability to pull the life right out of mortal bodies, when Rying's gift is discovered by the enemy prince, he offers her an impossible deal. If she becomes his private assassin and eliminates his political rivals, her family will never starve or suffer harm again. For this one, I've only read the author's note so far of starting it, but it has the possibility to be maybe as traumatizing as the Poppy War. Then on April 23rd, we have A Dragon Rider by Taryn Mathero. Jai lives as a royal hostage in the Sabine court ever since his father, Ron, leader of the Stipfolk, led a failed rebellion and was executed by the very emperor Jai now serves. When the emperor's son and heir is betrothed to Princess Erica of the neighboring Danish kingdom, she brings with her a dowry, dragons. Endemic to the northern nation, these powerful beasts come in several forms, but mystery surrounds them. Only Dansk royalty knows the secret to soul bonding with these dangerous beasts to draw on their power and strength. This marriage and the alliance that forms will change that forever. I'm sorry I mispronounced so many things. Our honorable mentions for April are going to be on April 9th, The Book That Broke the World by Mark Lawrence. This is the second in the library trilogy that started with The Book That Wouldn't Burn, which I've heard pretty good things about. A few mixed, but mostly really good. And it's following a girl who is training to take care of a library and also a boy who lives in the library. And then on April 23rd is Funny Story by Emily Henry. Now this one I had to put in honorable mentions because one, a lot of people are looking forward to it. For the last one of her books, I did not enjoy it near as much, but this one we are going back to something centered around books at least. One of our main characters is a children's librarian, and normally things that have to do with books, like her books about authors or her books about people in publishing, like Book Lovers. I loved Book Lovers, but I did not like Happy Place. May is a bit different, as most of them don't come out until the 21st. And the first one's going to be How to Become the Dark Lord and Die Trying by Django Wexler, because it sounds hilarious. And I won't even try to paraphrase it. This way you can get the full effect. Davy has done this all before. She's tried to be the hero and take down the all-powerful Dark Lord. 100 times she's rallied humanity and made the final charge. But the time loop always gets her in the end. Sometimes she's killed quickly. Sometimes it takes a while. And she's been defeated every time. This time, she's done being the hero and done being stuck in this endless time loop. If the Dark Lord always wins, then maybe that's who she needs to be. It's Davy's turn to play on the winning side. Very amusing sounding. Maybe it's not supposed to be. I'll find out. Definitely going to find out for this one. We also have a sci-fi dystopian novel called Lost Ark Dreaming by C. Davis Okinbawa. It takes place off the west coast of Africa in these super towers that were created originally as like playgrounds for the wealthy. But with the Atlantic Ocean rising now, the survivors have to live in these towers. So the rich people kind of rule from on high, while the lower classes live literally below sea level in not great conditions. So obviously there will be tensions, and the book is going to follow 3 lives within the tower that are pulled into the forefront of the conflict. Yinki, an earnest mid-level rookie analyst, Toyo, an undersea mechanic mourning a tremendous loss, and Gozi, an egotistical bureaucrat from the highest levels of government. And they will need to work together if there is any hope of a future that is worth living for everyone. Because there is something, outside the towers that's going to be also a big conflict that I don't want to say too much. Another sci-fi mystery type is The Last Murder at the End of the World by Stuart Turton. I think this is the one that's also already gotten like a TV adaptation for it. Solve the murder, save what's left of the world. Outside the island, there is nothing. The world was destroyed by a fog that swept the planet, killing anyone it touched. And now on the island, the few survivors live this idyllic little life that they're protected by the scientists. Except one of the scientists died, and now whatever mechanism keeps the fog at bay is going to fail. And they have a very specific amount of time to solve this murder, 117 days, which I question. Our last one for May 21st, as you can tell everything pretty much for me came out on May 21st, is listed as Game of Thrones meets Pacific Rim in this genre-bending masterpiece with heart-pounding romance. And its genres, when you look up the book individually, is under romantasy and sci-fi. I'm very confused, but I'm including it because it gives Gundam vibes. It's called Heavenbreaker by Sarah Wolfe. The Duke of the powerful House Hauteclair is the first to die, and our main character is determined to take out every member of this house, even if it means riding Heavenbreaker, one of the few enormous machines left over from the war, with a capital W there, and jousting against the fiercest nobles in the system. Each win means another one of my enemies dies, and here in the cold terror of space, the machine and I are move as one, intent on destroying each adversary, even if it's someone I care about, even if it's someone I'm falling for. Only I'm not alone, not anymore, because there's something in the machine with me, something horrifying, something more, and it won't be stopped. So there's a lot of confusing elements here within this description. My one honorable mention for May is going to be coming out on May 7th, beginning of the month, The Sword Unbound by Gareth Hanrahan. This is the Lands of the Firstborn Book 2, the sequel to The Sword Defiant, which got very, very, I can't even say mixed reviews, I don't think. I still want to try it though, because it's following a man who was part of a hero group that saved the world from the Dark Lord, and he took on the sword, the care of the Dark Lord's sword, who seems semi-sentient maybe, and he can see that evil is rising in the land again, so he goes to gather his group, but they've gone on to live normal lives, and one of them has possibly, become bad themselves. Let's move on though into June. June 4th is bringing us two sci-fis. The first up being Service Model by Adrian Tchaikovsky. Maybe I said that right this time. I don't know. To fix the world, they must first break it further. Humanity is a dying breed, utterly reliant on artificial labor and service. And when a domesticated robot gets a nasty little idea downloaded into its core programming, they murder their owner. The robot discovers they can also do something else they never did before. They can run away. Now, from the description, people are comparing it to Murderbot. Our other one is The Stardust Grail by Yumi Kitsei. I did the review for their first release, The Deep Sky, last year. I really recommend this book. It was very good. So this is why I am totally going to check this out. Not connected at all. They seem to be completely different. Maya Hashimoto was once the best art thief in the galaxy. For 10 years, she returned stolen artifacts to alien civilizations until a disastrous job forced her into hiding. Now, she just wants to enjoy a quiet life as a graduate student of anthropology, but she's haunted by persistent, disturbing visions of the future. When an old friend comes to her with a job she can't refuse, find a powerful object that could save an alien species from extinction, except no one has seen it in living memory, and they aren't the only ones hunting for it. A lot of things are calling to me with that one. On June 24th is a sequel that I'm really, really ready for because I need answers to some things that happened at the end of the first book. This is The Curse of Sins by Kate Dramas. Stay anchored in the light, they told her. But what had the light ever done for her? The first book, The Curse of Saints, where we are following Aya, who is a spy master. She's actually third in command to the queen of this country, and they all have God's given abilities. But they are trying to keep dark magic from returning to the land, but there's also a lot of information that's kind of hidden. There's a specific thing that is bad. There was a cult, and they used something to go past the amount of ability that they are supposed to be able to have as humans, and the gods kind of punished them and said if it ever happened again, they would just kill everyone. But we still like the gods, and we just keep people in line. That's what they do. It was really good. This is a horrible description of it. I also did a review for this one, Moving into the honorable mentions for June, though, ignore those weird statements. The first one up is going to be June 11th, is The Fire Within Them by Matthew Ward. This is the second book sequel to The Darkness Before Them, where we are following a young thief who, she's not a hero, she just wants to be free, to have her old life back. While she's a talented thief, she's pursuing one big score that will settle the debt that destroyed her family. But as a rebellion rekindles, the war for Khalad's future begins, everyone, cat included, will have to pick a side. She has the ability to speak to ghosts. The one I'm super excited about for the 11th, though, is The Fall of Waterstone by Lilith St. Croix. This is the second in the Blackland's Bane, trilogy. I think it was a trilogy. The Blackland is a myth. Centuries have passed since the great enemy was slain, yet old fear lingers, and on the longest night of the year, people in the south still light ritual bonfires to banish the dark. In her village, this duty falls to Solveig, a girl favored by the gods with powerful fire magic. But when her brother kills a northern lord's son during the ritual, it is Sol who faces punishment by being rearguiled, part hostage, part guest in the north for a year and a day. And as she's traveling to the north, they find things that are not quite myth anymore. Last up on our list is coming out June 18th, The Unrelenting Earth by Kritika H. Rao. This is the second in the Rages trilogy. It started with The untethered sky. High above a jungle planet float the last refuges of humanity, plant-made civilizations held together by tradition, technology, and arcane science. Here, architects are revered deeply, with humanity's survival reliant on a privileged few. If not for their abilities, the cities would plunge into the devastating earth rage storms below. We are following a husband and wife duo. One of them is an architect and one of them is an archaeologist, I believe. So two different types of sciences, and the marriage is kind of fraught. There's a lot of tension there, and they have to go on a mission down to the earth below. While these are the ones that I'm most excited about, I'd love to know which ones you're looking forward to. If it's something from this list or something I failed to mention, let us know down below. That way we can all look forward to it. And publishing dates do change. These should be in stone, especially the ones for April. But I have noticed things definitely do change over the course of the months. So we'll just have to wait and see. If you enjoyed this video, I recommend you checking out some of my other ones and subscribing if you like my style. I hope you find something awesome to read today, and I'll see you in the next one.